What is up, everyone? Jaime Hernandez here. Welcome back to the Profit Playbook DFS. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment so you don't miss a single slate breakdown. We're here every week talking DFS, giving you the edge to profit, whether that's college football DFS or the NFL. Um, well, let's get into it. With week 2, what a tough week it was, and I'm not just talking fantasy wise, right? We had a lot of big time injuries that happened in week 2, right? Whether it was to defensive players like Khalil Mack versus the Raiders breaking his elbow, or Joe Burrow, right, with a turf toe injury, getting surgery there. He's expected to be out for about 3 months, and then we have Jaden Daniels out as well. I believe he sprained his knee versus the Green Bay Packers and hasn't practiced since. And then we also have injury news to running backs, right? Like Zach Charbonnet from Seattle. So it's crazy out there. It was just these first 2 weeks have been crazy, and everything's been so volatile. So, I mean, anyone can literally go off any week, right? But we're here to find the guys that are more than likely to go off. And week 3, I love this slate. Uh, at the end, I'm going to have two stacks that I do love here, right? But anyways, without further ado, let's get ready for week 3. Let's get right into week 3 here. We're going to go and start off with the quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and start off with the studs that I do like here. We're going to go all the way to the top, which is Jalen Hurts, right? When it comes to Hurts, there hasn't been much volume in the passing game, right? And he hasn't had to pass the ball as much. When it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, they underperformed. They've been underperforming. So the opposing offenses, they haven't had to throw the ball as much or be aggressive. Besides, I believe Justin Herbert in Week 1, he just went off in that game. But even then, versus Dallas here, it was a pretty high scoring game. 23 passing attempts, 152 yards. He still has not found the end zone yet. That was more they were just attacking Dallas through the ground, right? They were not pushing the Eagles here. And also Dallas, they were scoring everything on the ground, so it was a weird game. But here versus the Los Angeles Rams, the undefeated Los Angeles Rams, I believe. Of course, someone has to lose, right? Unless it ends in a tie. But I truly believe the Rams are going to push the Eagles here, and Hurts is going to have to pass the ball a little bit more or be forced to um, throw it in the end zone instead of just handing it off to um, Saquon Barkley. If he is going to run it in the end zone, I mean, in the red zone, that's good as long as he scores a touchdown, right? But Jalen Hurts is one of my favorite plays here when it comes to the studs. And after that, let's go to another stud right under him, Baker Mayfield, right? We are saying studs here, but the price, the salary, it's mid-range, I would say, but based off the salaries and where they're at on the depth chart when it comes to DraftKings, Baker Mayfield is considered a stud, I would say. When it comes to playing the New York Jets, the cool thing about Tampa Bay, whether it's a low scoring game or not, it seems like Baker Mayfield has a lot to do with it. He'll get you a few rushing yards here and there, but he is going to be throwing some touchdown passes, right? Even if it's the running backs getting him there. That's the cool thing about Tampa Bay's offense, right? So Baker Mayfield, we love here. That's the two studs, Hurts and Mayfield. And I mean, if you want to consider Herbert a stud based on price on there, he might be MVP this year based off how he's been playing, and they've been letting him throw the ball, right? Last year, it was just run heavy right off the bat. From week on, it was just pound the ball, pound the ball. So far, they've been letting him air it out versus Las Vegas and Kansas City. Of course, Las Vegas, they are no Denver Broncos, right? And yes, the Denver Broncos have arguably the best defense in the NFL, best secondary in the NFL. But they, that Justin Herbert always finds a way to go off versus the Broncos here, and there's no exception in Week 3. And especially he's got one of the best receiving cores in the NFL, I would say. It's funny, he was coming into the year with arguably the worst receiving core in the NFL, but so that has changed, right? Quentin Johnston looks like he found his hands. Keenan Allen, I mean, he hasn't missed a step. And what can we say about Ladd McConkey, right? He's a beast. Or like Herbert says, dogs. But we love us some Herbert here today or for this week. And sorry about that. Staying in the mid range here. I mean, you can go with Dak Prescott, right? But someone I'm going to be highlighting here is going to be opposing Dak Prescott, and that's going to be Caleb Williams. One of my favorite plays this slate. He is going up against the Dallas Cowboys with arguably the highest total. Maybe not arguably, it is the highest total this week on the over-under. It's over 50 in some books. They're expecting fireworks here. Both defenses haven't been great, so I truly believe this is going to be a ceiling game for both teams. When it comes to Caleb Williams, right, he's been mid. A lot of people say he's been a bust, but I mean, I don't care about fantasy-wise if he's been a bust in real life or not. I don't think he has. I just believe the supporting cast and that offensive line is just not good. And of course, he's learning a new offense. And same for Justin Fields. You know, if I would have been there as a GM there and as an owner, I would have drafted around and built around Caleb Williams. Would have traded that number one pick of Caleb Williams for a stud on the offensive line and would have built around it. And I'm pretty sure the Bears would have been in a better place. But whatever, it is what it is. Can't go back. But anyways, Caleb Williams, I love here versus the Cowboys. You can see his passing yards have been modest, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, but he also gives you upside running the football, right? So we love him here, and he might be QB1, this week when it comes to fantasy football. I mean, Prescott, you can go ahead and get yourself some Prescott as well. He's been pretty damn good, but I believe people are going to have more of Prescott based off his price range, and he's and the wow factor and teaming him up with stacking him up with CeeDee Lamb, right? But the running backs have been stealing touchdowns from him, but I truly believe this week he's going to be around 20 plus, 26, 30 points this week. So Prescott, he goes up there. I know there's a lot of value that's opened up this week, right? In Washington with Marcus Mariota, in Minnesota with Carson Wentz, and that's exactly where we're going to for value here. And I believe they're both priced here in the minimum. So Carson Wentz here, what can we say? Yes, he is a veteran that hasn't seen the field a ton the past couple of years, but perfect opportunity here. He's got one of the better receiving cores as well, arguably WR1 and Justin Jefferson. We saw what Sam Darnold did last year. But when it comes to Justin Jefferson, Naylor, and Adam Thielen, right, and Jordan Mason and TJ Hawkinson, I believe he's in for a pretty good week, especially minimum here at $4,000 on the salary, right? The other guy that I did say is another Duck here, Mr. Oregon, Mr. Marcus Mariota. He is replacing Jaden Daniels as Washington's starting quarterback Sunday against the Raiders. Reported by Jonathan Jones of CBSSports.com, right? And of course, we knew that already, but he's also stepping in a perfect opportunity. This offense should be putting up points no matter who's at quarterback. And Marcus Mariota also gives you a little bit of wiggle room using his legs. So Marcus Mariota, at minimum, I believe he doesn't have to do much, same as Carson Wentz, to perform. And the only thing I truly believe, based on their price points and their upside, they're going to be highly owned, right? So for cash, they make sense. But there you have it, right? Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Dak Prescott, Marcus Mariota, and Carson Wentz, right? If you want to, throw yourself in there in the Houston game, Jacksonville game, you can go ahead and get yourself a little bit of C.J. Stroud as well. But anyways, let's go to our running backs. right off the bat, we're going to go to the top of the order here. And back-to-back weeks, we're going with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what can we say? He's a stud, right? He does it all. Receiving, running, and I believe he does get, for the first time this year, in the end zone versus Arizona, and the volume's going to be sky high. He's a perfect cash play, and he's got upside for GPP as well. Because look at these modest numbers here, 22.7, 23.2. I believe he gets multiple touchdowns this week. Fire him up as a safe play. And then we can go to down the pecking order here. And Javonte Williams, I'm saying I love this game, right? I love this game. Bears are not as great as they used to be stopping the run. Look at these numbers, 20.4, 25 fantasy points there. He is getting touchdowns, right? So maybe you're chasing those points or chasing those touchdowns, but he is getting volume. So if he doesn't get the touchdowns, is he going to be performing a lot better? We will see. But he's definitely a pick here in one of the in the highest scoring game projected this week, right? And then Javonte Williams, Jordan Mason. You can definitely go with Jordan Mason. They're gonna give him all he can handle in Minnesota versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati can't stop the run. But here we go, right? Aaron Jones Sr. is out. So another guy, and I believe he's going to be highly owned as well due to the salary. He's a big-time value. But the biggest value in my book here that just opened up with the announcement of Zach Charbonnet out is Kenneth Walker III versus the New Orleans Saints. This might be the best pick, best play of the week. Biggest value based off salary. Kenneth Walker, there's not much to say about him. He'll go off, right? The only bad thing about Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet are each other. You know, they steal carries from each other, they steal touches from each other, but here he's gonna get all he can handle. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to destroy this slate. And another guy that we should have mentioned before is Jonathan Taylor versus the Tennessee Titans. Same, he's a workhorse running back. He can catch the ball of the backfield. He scored a receiving touchdown versus Denver. And the crazy thing is, they don't mind giving him the ball. Even in close games versus Denver, he's going to be getting his carries. He's a stud this week as well. So you have a lot of options there. At running back, you have a lot of options at quarterback. And let's go to the wide receivers, which I love this week. That wide receiver position, you got to spend up, I feel like, with all that value here. Let's start off with CeeDee Lamb, my favorite receiver this week, versus the Chicago Bears. Once again, theme of this week has been Bears Cowboys, right? Should be seeing a lot of fireworks this week here in this game, of course. Look at the floor. It's sky high, 21, 23.2, 7 receptions, 13 targets, 9 receptions, 11 targets, 110 yards, 112 yards. And the best thing, 0 touchdowns. So I believe he gets his first touchdown this week. Potential for multiple touchdowns and 100 yards, 10 receptions, potential there for CeeDee Lamb. From CeeDee Lamb, let's go to some guy I really love this week. And he might be on the lower end on ownership here because of his performance. He's been underperforming, but it's a get-right game here versus Jacksonville. If you are going to be playing C.J. Stroud, pair him up with Nico Collins. Nico Collins is going to go off this week. I love myself some Nico Collins this week. From Nico Collins, we can definitely go to Lad McConkey. He's healthy, right? Like I said, game scripts here. If Denver can put up some points, a lot of people love Denver plus 2.5. I don't, right? But a lot of people do. So if the Denver can score points on the Chargers, this game's going to be seeing fireworks as well. And Lad McConkey and Keenan Allen are definitely in play. Even Quentin Johnson, that's a perfect stack there. Bring it back with Sutton, right? I mean, you can do a lot of things there in that game. So Lad McConkey for the Chargers, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, you can go there. But my favorite play to pair him up with Caleb Williams is going to be Rome Odunze, right? Let's see here, Rome Odunze. Look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this price right here, 5,300 value, and he's safe. he went off last week, and you never know, he can do it again this week in this game. Like I've been mentioning, Dallas, Chicago, Dallas, Chicago. Roma Dunze, I love him this week. If you're, and then we'll get to DJ Moore after. But yeah, he's someone I love there. And another guy would be Drake London, right? Should have. Let's see, Drake London, where are you, buddy? Versus Carolina. He's been underperforming. I believe this is a get right game for him versus Carolina. I feel the ownership's going to be a little bit low on him, but why not? Some Drake London. That's the cheapest he's been all year, and I believe he's definitely going to outperform his salary there. And then Marvin, last but not least, Marvin Harrison Jr. The last time there was an issue with his target, or at least brought up to the media, was week 2 of last year, right before week 3, and he had himself a game, right? Multiple touchdowns, I believe, about 6 receptions or so. And guess what? That's in the media again. Kyler Murray came out saying that it's not his job just to be getting Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. And I get where he's coming from. I get all sides of the story, but I believe him saying that, it's not his job, whatever the case might be, I feel like he's going to make it a statement to get him the ball this week versus the San Francisco 49ers. We might be seeing fireworks there as well. I love him this week. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to tight ends. My tight end 1 this week is going to be Brock Bowers, right? He's healthy. He's good to go. He says questionable here. But yeah, he doesn't have an injury designation, actually. He's going to be my tight end 1 this week. Spend up for him. There's lots of value elsewhere. Brock Bowers, tight end 1 for me this week here. Let's go to another tight end that I do like here. I would say I don't know why he's probably so low, but where is he at? 4,100, I think it was. Juwan Johnson, Seattle. He's been one of the only bright spots there. Targets 12 and 9, right? Juwan Johnson, fire him up. Depending what you're trying to do. If you're trying to save, he's 3,900. If you're trying to save a tight end, you have 2 perfect guys, Juwan Johnson and Harold Fanning Jr. as well. Of course, this is strictly football. To me, he's another Aaron Hernandez. They line him up anywhere on the field and everywhere. He should be having himself a pretty good game here. Not to discredit David Njoku, but Harold Fanning Jr., he's here to stay. So Harold Fanning Jr., those are my top 3 at tight ends there. And then let's get to defense for a little bit. There's just 3. When it comes to defense, even the lowest priced defense can go off any week, right? So here I just like the Seahawks, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the New England Patriots. That's really it. That's what I have this week for defense. And Patriots being the lowest salary out of the 3, which is pretty good there for me. If you think that Washington's not going to be able to move the ball with Marcus Mariota, then you can look at the Raiders defense here. But yeah, that's what I like here. So we're at the end of that breakdown when it comes to positional players. Let's go to my favorite stacks of the week here. There's 2 games that stand out for me. First, it's the Vikings versus the Bengals, right? So if you wanted to stack this game up, you can go with Carson Wentz here, or Browning, doesn't matter. Wentz, and then a wide receiver. You're going with the top 2 here in that game, which is Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. You can even go with Naylor, right, at 3,800, right? Or you can go vice versa. You can go ahead and put Jake Browning at quarterback. Doesn't really matter. That's a pretty good stack to me. It's a fairly inexpensive stack at quarterback, and then spending up at the wide receivers, right? And then my favorite stack of the week. If you've been listening, if you've been paying attention throughout, I appreciate you, but you know damn well where I'm going with this here, and that is to the Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bears game here. And once again, Caleb Williams here, wide receiver, Dunze, wide receiver, more, and then a perfect bring back. I mean, come on. My favorite play of the week, CeeDee Lamb, right? That's perfect right there. You still average remaining per player, 51.40. You can go ahead and fill out if you wanted to. If you don't want to spend up at running back, right? You can go ahead and fill out Kenneth Walker here. Boom, right? Boom, boom, boom. You can do Jordan Mason, or if you wanted to spend up, you can go with Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey. You go with Taylor. 42.33. Go to tight end. Get yourself some Juwan Johnson there. Boom. Defense. I mean, you can go anywhere with the defense, right? You can go with either you want to spend up, you could go with the Seattle Seahawks, or if you want to spend down, if you want to correlate that with the running back and defense, right? Seattle defense or Indianapolis defense, or you can go with a little bit more room on the salary for your flex. You can go with the Patriots here, remaining on the flex 6,200. And you can go with Chuba Hubbard, Devontae Adams, right? You can go if you feel like everyone's going to be getting touches there in that Dallas Cowboys game, go with Javonte Williams. And if not, you can go with either Drake London that I mentioned or Bowers, and boom, there's your lineup, right? Of course, you can use this lineup. You can do something else, whatever you want to do, right? Regardless, I do appreciate you guys for watching, whether that's watching 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole video, whatever the case might be. Once again, this is my second time recording. Yesterday, I thought I recorded for almost an hour, 45 minutes, and then when I was going to stop recording, instead it said start recording, and I didn't realize that I never even started to record, yet I was talking and speaking like I was recording. Well, anyways, once again, I appreciate everyone for listening. And that's a breakdown for week 3. I'm Jaime Hernandez with the Profit Playbook DFS. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment your favorite stack below. Or if you have anyone else in mind, please let me know. And good luck this weekend. And let's get some profit. Yeah? Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.